I won my first ever Melee tournament. Well, not really. Last Friday, I entered Joober Jr., which is a beginner's Melee tournament for small streamers that was hosted by the Twitch streamer Joober. The rules were just like any other tournament, but the only catch was you had to be no higher than bronze in the ranked Melee Slippy ladder. Now, I'm not a Melee guy. I can beat the average casual, but I've never competed. I also work a full-time job, so there was absolutely no shot I was grinding for this tournament. In fact, the last time I played Melee was actually on a CRT setup that my friends and I played like 2 weeks ago. So after leaving work a little early, I sat down, slapped on the Guitar Hero 3 soundtrack, and played my first set. I was up against Haha Adam 08, a streamer who, going into the set, I knew nothing about. I didn't know it at the time, but apparently this kid was like a 14-year-old renowned gamer that was one of the favorites to go pretty far in the tournament. So as this set went on, I was pretty nervous that I was a little bit out of my league here for this competition. I started off by messing up a recovery. Adam's option for edge guarding was to spam down tilt to keep poking me off the edge. I adapted to this by just spacing my recovery to give me just enough height to grab ledge under his tilt, and then timed an attack from ledge to knock him away. I also realized that Adam's option after being knocked down was always a get-up attack, so I adapted by waiting for the animation to finish while staying back, and then going in for the hit. After some scrappy back and forth, I ended up winning game 1. With less room to work with on Yoshi's and a couple tippered forward smashes, and this frustrating misinput, I ended up losing game 2. Game 3, I took it to Fountain of Dreams, and with more space to work with, I was able to space out my aerials and create enough separation to dismantle this Marth. 2-1 in my favor was the set count. In game 4, Adam took me back to Yoshi's, which is actually breaking a rule where you're not allowed to counterpick the same stage you previously won a game on, but I didn't know the rules, nor did I really care, because I still felt I could win on Yoshi's. And yeah, this happened. But regardless, another tipper F smash sent me off the edge to take the set count to 2-2. Oh my fucking god, man. If he was going to take me to Yoshi's twice, I was going to take him to Fountain twice. In this game, I discovered needles, and it was a nervy start. Down a stock, he knocked me high off the stage and did this. Are you fucking kidding me? Don't you ever disrespect me like that again, fucking pussy. Don't you ever disrespect me like that again. I was not going to let that slide. And at the end of the day, it was me walking away with a 3-2 set win. Again, I had no clue what the competition would be like in this tourney, so that was a pretty scary taste of what was to come. But thankfully, my next set went a bit better. I was up against KindaDrake, who wielded Fox. Game 1 was a 3-stock with some nice combos and clinical edge guarding. Game 2 went to Final Destination, and although I can't chain grab, I ended up winning on the last stock. Game 3 on Pokemon Stadium also ended in a little 3-stock. And with that, I moved into winners quarterfinals. My next opponent was Lord Fartimore, a legendary Twitch chatter who I happened to know from Ludwig's chat in the olden days. Because of this, I assumed he'd be deeply connected with Melee being a Ludbud, so I was pretty scared. I didn't know who he played, but I should have known because the moment I saw him whip out the Kirby game 1, it all clicked. If you know anything about Melee, you'll know that Kirby is not a very good character. But in this set, the biggest thing here was that he has a lot of jumps, so edgeguarding him was going to be a problem. But sending him upwards was a better strategy. Game 1 I felt in control, but Fartimore had some moments where his Kirby was cooking. But killing off the top of the screen was working. After getting gimped once, and then confused as to what happened here, I took game 1. Game 2 was more of the same back and forth. A routine win in my favor, and on to game 3. Game 3 was on Dreamland, where it was immediately made clear to me the power of this Kirby gimp. In trying to mash out of Kirby's mouth, it actually sends you downward with momentum into the blast zone. So I ended up losing game 3. But the Kirby gimps weren't enough, and game 4 went to me. Let's go! Massive respect to Lord Fartimore for sticking to his guns and playing Kirby, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to take me out. This win had me advancing to winners semis, where my opponent was none other than my good friend Thomas England. Now I'll be honest, last time I played Thomas as Falco, I was winning. However, while I rarely play Melee, Thomas is a grinder, and this match made me realize I don't know how to beat Falco. I think my key issue here was how easy and quick Thomas was firing out lasers, which was disrupting my movement heavily, leading to me getting hit more. Also, Thomas had some really good dashbacks, which led into good whiff punishes with dash attack or forward smash. Then my bread and butter was knocking my opponent into the air and comboing from there. But that was limited due to Falco being so heavy that he could just come down really quick and recover. Also, Falco's downer has a good hitbox, and spamming downer after recovering in the air usually caught me and sent me smashing into the ground, where a follow-up was easy for him to execute. Not to mention, Falco's offstage recovery was, not as good as Fox's, but it still leaves him plenty of mix-up options to mess up my edge guards. For some reason, Fox was simple to me, but Falco was difficult. Looking back, I think I should have used more needles to disrupt his movement, and also stay on ledges a bit more, spacing him out with the back air after disrupting the flow of his movement. And also, tech chasing grab would have been very helpful here, but I'm not good at that. Regardless, the first game was pretty close, and after whiffing a game-winning aerial, I ran straight into an F smash and lost. No! Thomas definitely got better as the set went on, and losing that first game, looking back, lost me the set. I was playing over-aggressive, panicking, trying to get away from him, and playing with no real strategy, because I simply just didn't know what to do against Falco. But in Game 2, I scrambled back for a win. Game 3 was on Pokemon Stadium, and with no top platform to work with, Thomas was dominated the ground game, and handed me a loss. Game 4 came down to last stock. This was probably my worst game of the tournament. Panicked gameplay, misinputs, and just over-aggression led me to lose the set 1-3. I played poorly, but I wasn't too upset, because if I wasn't going to win the tournament, at least I wanted to be one of my good friends like Thomas.
God, jeez, Dan, holy shit. Oh, God, I love that guy. I love that DanCorona guy.
Thomas actually would go on to winners finals against my roommate Nathan. At this point, everyone left in the tournament was a legitimate threat. Thomas's Falco was up against Nathan's Dr. Mario up in winners, but down in losers, we had Logic Defender, who was a clinical Marth, up against Serratic, who was a Fox with super crispy movement. Then there was me and my Sheik versus Keo, a skilled Jigglypuff main who actually sent Logic Defender to losers in the first round. I knew of Logic Defender's skill level, so Keo's Puff was a little intimidating. And also, this was my first set featured on the live stream. After that poor Thomas set, I had a mental reset and I went in prepared. Game 1, I started out strong, was playing super well. Keo was edgeguarding me well, but I adapted by early up-being over his back airs. I had a full stock lead, and on last stock, I went to drop from ledge and back air with Puff almost at no jumps left, and instead of hitting jump first then back airing, I instantly back aired off the ledge and accidentally killed myself to lose game 1.
No way. By the grace of God, off stage, Keo plays had 0 jumps left and was certainly dead. The game was about to go to DanCorona, and Dan self-destructs by falling from the ledge too fast.
Oh my fucking god. A huge choke. Game 2 started out very poorly. Slightly mentally boomed, I instantly got comboed, and without realizing I didn't have my jump, I died early. Keo hits me with another backer off stage that takes me down to 2 stocks. At this point, I decide to relax and play a bit more slow. I was realizing that in the air, which before was my bread and butter, was actually leading to my downfall. I realized that if I just crouch cancel and use down tilt on the ground, Keo would fall right into my trap and pop up into the air for a free combo. But it was too little too late. I brought it back to last stock, but Keo finished me off. Game 3, I had my strategy, and I knew what I needed to do.
DanCorona's counter pick on Pokemon Stadium. I want to see what he does. There's a whole lot more room to work with here. Pokemon Stadium operates a lot like FD. There's a huge dead space in the middle, and I want to see if he's able to chain grab or, oh, an up air there would have meant certain death for Keo. But both these players are playing around each other so well and kind of, I don't want to say reading each other's recovery, but definitely reacting to each other's recovery, and that huge up smash will give DanCorona the lead that he has been looking for. Who wins this game? I would love to see. Oh my god, that pound cost Dan the stock. Oh, DanCorona's he's fishing for the up air. Up air will absolutely kill Puff at 84%. Oh, he goes so low, and it pays off. That back air, it's not gonna quite kill. Any other aerial, any other strong aerial right there, the up air is going to kill. Last stock. This is DanCorona's final stock of the tournament, potentially. One aerial could do it from either of these guys. The next person to go off stage, it could mean the whole tournament. The survival DI by Keo is unmatched.
Fuck, let's go!
Dan takes it by this much. He was in the blast zone. He was in the magnifying glass. DanCorona on the board.
A last stock trade that confused me for a second who won, but the win was all the reassuring I needed going into game 4.
Both of these players are tied in percentages, and both of them want to be in the air, okay? We have seen DanCorona has lethal aerials, but it looks like, yep, Keo is going to take the first stock. He's playing so patient. He's getting off every move that he needs to. He's looking to take back the lead. Oh, huge grab. Wow. Wow. The flub from Dan. That has gotta hurt. Oh, a regrab perhaps? One up air will do it. And a slap. That'll do it. They are tied stocks. The percentages. These guys could be monsters. Look at that back air. DanCorona takes the lead again. He wants a game 5. Keo, will you let DanCorona take you to game 5? Yes or no? Oh my goodness. DanCorona has one chance to get back on stage. Keo holds the ledge. Those are the edge guards I am talking about. That's huge. That's huge. Oh my goodness, that was free. Dan says, fuck it, I don't care about the edge guard. I just want to get back on stage. Up air?
Die!
Is that it? They are both one hit away. The next big hit is going to determine the winner of this match. Will you triumph or will you wither, Keo? Oh my goodness! That's gonna be a huge slap from DanCorona.
Yes!
Dan fans have never been up more. That is a game 5.
An absolute heart stopper of a game ends up sending it to game 5.
Wow, the survival DI from Keo. Oh my god, the slap from... Oh my god! You're going on a highlight reel. Oh my god, you're going on the hub, Keo. I'm so sorry, my brother. Let him know, let him hear you. A huge slap from Dan will put him in an advantageous 3 stocks to 1.
With my new strategy of crouch canceling and popping Jigglypuff up with tilts, Yoshi's story the second time around was a dominant win.
I would love to see a big forward smash from Keo to tie the stocks up. That's gonna be it.
Let's go! Let's fucking go! Reverse 3-0!
That was huge. That was massive for DanCorona.
So I actually hit a reverse 3-0 in my first ever Melee tournament. And so my run continued. I was now in the final 4 and my next opponent was Logic Defender's Marth. I've played Logic Defender before and won pretty convincingly in the past. But just like Thomas, Logic Defender was a grinder of Melee and I was not. The set wasn't going to be easy. Instead of a gentleman's game 1 battlefield, Logic decided to win the coin flip, so we ended up banning maps until it went game 1 to Yoshi's story. In a pretty even match, I ended up missing a ledge dash that costed me a whole stock.
An SD from DanCorona will put him at a disadvantage, but he will take that stock right back from Logic Defender. Oh, Dan, he panic recovers to the top platform. Now we've got Logic Defender above you. Okay, remember when I said you don't want to be above a Marth? You do not want to be below a Sheik, okay? So these guys are an unstoppable force, meets an immovable object. This could be huge. Oh, what up tilt? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is, I'm so clenched. This is huge. 1 forward air. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Woo! Let's go, baby! But in a nail-biter's last stock finish, I ended up taking game 1. Now for game 2, of course we're going to FD. With no platforms, there was no shot I was winning. But I still fought it out and lived to 255% before losing game 2. Game 3, I was playing really over-aggressive again, and just whiffing so many attacks that resulted in me getting grabbed over and over again. But with Logic almost never edge-guarding me, I kept living to incredibly high percents. But a tipper F-smash saw me lose Game 3 and go down 1-2. Game 4, I wanted to take it right back to Battlefield with my new adaptations. Here's where I realized what Logic's entire playstyle was. Logic is incredibly good at spacing around ground and falling aerial attacks with dashbacks, and then with Mark's incredible grab range, he would chain grab you or back throw you into tipper F-smash. Throughout the set, I ended up adapting to this playstyle by disrupting dashes with needles, jumping from ledge, which he would almost never read, and trying to come down with back air to catch him off guard. If I did get grabbed, I found it better to DI away from the Marth in order to avoid the following F-smash. This had me completely avoid death by holding out instead of in. The set from here on out ended up being really sweaty and patient.
He's not gonna do it. Huge. That back air could have meant the whole game. He does it. Dan takes it to game 5 by the fucking skin of his teeth. Let's check in.
Yes! Come on! Another absolute heartstopper ends with me taking it to a Game 5 situation, and we were going to Pokemon Stadium.
Now, Logic likes this stage because he can get the regrabs here. He can juggle it in the middle of the stage. DanCorona is going to like this platform because a lot of his moves are going to combo onto the platforms, which is exactly what he's looking for. See how he's struggling to stay on the stage and get back to neutral? That's because a lot of the stage operates a lot like FD. But it looks like Dan is a... Oh, he's fucking dead. That's what Dan is. Looking to equal it up here. Dan's going to need to get him off stage in a major way. Is he going to grab ledge? He doesn't. Oh, these punishes are not it. He goes to the back air and it connects. So well played. I have to say, DanCorona has some of the best ledge play. He has some of the best ledge play that we've seen all day. You know what? Either way, I think both these players deserve to be where they are. I think they both deserve to move on. We've had so many game 5s in Joob Gym. I'm absolutely loving it. I want to see more Melee be played, and I want you guys to enjoy more Melee. Look at that. Look at that Timber F smash. Holy, yeah. Game 5 Dan is a menace, let me tell you. Dude, I need Dan to stop doing forward smash because he's not connecting on the second hit. He needs to just like go for a down tilt or a tilt or something. He's actually getting Marthed. This could be it. And he doesn't want it to be it. This is huge. Oh, see, every time. He could have just re-grabbed it. Would have been so free. Oh, he avoids. Big up air will bring it to game 5, last stock. We've seen DanCorona do it before. Will he be the people's champion here today? He's looking to even it up. Oh my god, look at all this percent. Look at all this percent. Oh my god. Look at... you're going on the hub. Logic, if you lose this, you're going on the hub, my friend. Holy... He brought it back. He brought it back with one combo. He gets re-grabbed. This could make or break it for DanCorona. He used his recovery. Oh, he's living. He's living. He grabs ledge. Logic is looking for a grab. He would do anything. He would leak private US military documents for a grab right now. He would do anything for it. He's looking for a monster tipper. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, don't count out Dan's Let's Play. Oh, that slap. Oh, Logic, look at him. He's like a shark. He wants it so bad. Look at the needles. Exactly what I wanted to see from Dan. This could not be closer. And we love to see it. Oh, the counter. The counter with the low ceiling glitch. As long as he doesn't get forward smashed or re-grabbed, the dream might be alive. Neither of these players want to lose. It is so tense. Oh, the neutral air.
No! Fuck! I lost. A short hop nair on the last few frames caught my shin and sent me off with barely enough force to kill me. I was head in hands.
Dan, brother, well played. Holy fuck. That was some incredible melee. Hey, Dan, I think you're the people's champion today. Head in hands, I've been there, brother. Hey, lose to a Donkey Kong on ranked, and then get back to me, okay?
Logic Defender's Marth went on to beat Thomas England's Falco, who lost to Nathan, and then Logic completely dismantled Nathan in the finals in a 6-0 bracket reset win. But the streets know which sets were the most exciting. I ended up getting 4th place, winning no money, but I'm glad if I lost to anyone in the tournament, it was my 3 good friends, Logic Defender, Nathan, and Thomas England. So yeah, that's how my first ever Melee tournament went. Huge thank you to Joober for hosting this event and allowing us bozos to become competitors and actually experience the rush of Melee. And even though if all of us went into an actual tournament, we'd get swiftly 2-0'd in a mere minutes, no one will forget the outcome of the first Joober Jam Jr.